Alright, I'm in the garage today working on the 99 Civic. The $800 Civic. I actually have to put a couple dollars into it today. Keep getting a check engine light. The first time the light came on, it was for a oxygen sensor heater code. And then I started getting a P0170 and a P0171 code, which are lean codes. And it's all related to the oxygen sensor, I'm assuming, just going bad. So, I'm going to be replacing it today. On the 99 Civic I have here, it's an EX. It has the 1.6 liter single overhead cam Vetec engine. So it is different than like a DX model or LX or any of the smaller base models, because normally the oxygen sensor that we're going after, the bank one, sensor one, upstream sensor would be right here, would be coming out of the manifold. But on this car, in this year range, like the 99-2000 range, it is down underneath the car. Alright, so the oxygen sensor that I was able to pick up real quick at Advanced Auto Parts, it's more of a universal one. I'm going to have to do a little bit of wiring on the connection there. And I went ahead and I bought a new tool because I wasn't sure if I was going to need it. This is like a low clearance oxygen sensor wrench versus a standard one. I think this one will work. It just depends on how hard it is to get out. Worst case scenario, you cut the wires off since we're replacing it anyway, and use a regular 7/8 inch socket to get it out. Also got my breaker bar, because these things really do get in there, especially if it's original. This is a 99, it's 2018. It's been in there for a long time. Alright, so here we are underneath the car, and right behind the oil pan, right before the catalytic converter, is your upstream oxygen sensor. The downstream oxygen sensor is back. You can't see it from here, but it's actually on the catalytic converter itself. But the one that we're dealing with, that I got a code about, was this one. And I had no drivability problems at all, just the code, so I'm going to get this changed out. And it never hurts to use just a little bit of penetrating oil on here. Try to break this loose. Oh, I think I got her. Was able to break it loose. I'm going to reach up here and unplug the electrical connector. Alright. There's just a little clip that this sits in. Everything under here is covered in oil. Do it by hand now. Almost. Alright, so here's the old sensor here. Alright, so here's the old one. And you can see it's got the short lead of wire. If you buy a direct replacement oxygen sensor, you'll just screw the old one in, reconnect your electrical connector. Like I said, in my case, saved me a couple dollars by buying this universal one. The only thing really universal about it is the connector and the length of the wire. So you basically just trim it to where it's the same size wire as this, and then make your connection. It does come with instructions on how to do that. And this little block here. Alright, so how this works, I really don't recommend doing this method. I just recommend buying the correct one for yourself. You can get it from Rock Auto or Amazon or eBay or something for actually less than this universal one costs if you go to a local parts store. But I'm in a hurry, I want to get this done today. So basically I overpaid for something that's going to require more work. But in case you're in the same position as me, basically all we have to do is we're going to reuse the connector from the factory sensor here, and we can cut it off wherever we'd like. Cut it about here. And the point is that when we're done, the wire is the same length on the new one as the old one. So then you'll cut the wires on the new sensor back here. The splices are made in this little terminal here. And how you can figure out the color code is you look at your old sensor, and in my case it's got a green, a white, and 2 black wires. So I find here the green, the white, the 2 blacks, and then that matches up to the Bosch color code here, which is gray and black and 2 whites. So the 2 whites, there's no polarity, it's the heater circuit, and then there's the plus and the minus. And in this case, so the black wire from the new sensor goes to the white wire of the old one, and the gray wire goes to the green wire, and the 2 white wires connect to the 2 black wires. And they give you these little terminals here. These are just little rubber pieces that the wire goes through to keep the weather out. And these are what actually makes the connection. You strip the wire, stick it through the holes, and then tighten these down on both sides, and it forms a connection. Alright, so I'm not really digging how they want you to do this. I don't think it's a good connection. What I'm going to do is just strip and then solder my wires. I will use their little guide to match up the colors, and then I will solder and use some heat shrink tubing, and then I'll slide over this protective cover here as well. Alright, get everything soldered and heat shrinked. Put a little electrical tape on there, and then I'm going to slide this up over here. Right, slide this down over it. Alright, now there's our new oxygen sensor ready to be put in. Like I said, I would definitely recommend just buying the one that's ready to go. It's even cheaper online. Alright, so make sure there's anti-seize on your new oxygen sensor, which there should be. I'll just get it started here by hand. Snug it down. It's nice and snug. We'll reconnect our electrical connector. Alright, and that's all she wrote. there we are. No more check engine light. Alright, well hopefully this video was helpful, especially to those of you with an EX. There's not a whole lot of videos out there on how to change the oxygen sensor.